In today's video, I'm going to be making this little pouch bag. It's like a crossbody bag for a phone. And the nice thing about this is that it is a basic tote. You can make any tote with any length strap, any kind of closure, any width, any length. The only thing that you have to keep in mind though is the weight of whatever you're going to put in it, because this is just a phone. So this is just, I think it's just simple cotton fabric, and this is simple cotton fabric, no lining. Well, there is a lining, but there's no fleece or any structure to it that makes it stronger and more able to, oh, no kitty, have anything heavy in it. So it's basically used for a phone and maybe your car fob or something. But these techniques for this can be used for any tote. And I do have a couple different, I show you a couple different tabs, and my favorite buttonhole tab. So you don't actually have to make a buttonhole. It makes the buttonhole for you, and I show you that too. It's one of my favorites because I was always afraid of making a buttonhole. When I learned how to make this, I was so happy. It changed my world and my totes forever. We're going to make this little phone pouch, and you see, I found my snaps. For the phone bag, I do 2 pieces of lining that are separate. I have one piece for the outer that is cut on the fold. I have 2 different types of tabs. This one you just fold over, go around an L shape, turn it right side out, and fit it in there. And I'll probably make one of those. I haven't decided which one I'm going to do. So I have 2 different fabrics. I just cut them out. Whatever size you want. You just figure how big you want it and add a 1/2 inch to it. Make sure it's big enough so that it's easy to turn right side out. So I don't know which one I want to do. And then I have the tab one, which I enjoy making, and you just put right sides together, go around the edge and turn it right side out, and it becomes smaller. So you have to kind of figure out how big you want your tab. But you can make your tab however you like. Then I have, I just do, since it's not going to be anything but a phone, that's the only weight that's really going to be in it, unless you wanted to make a pocket, which I do have a pattern for a little pocket. But I do just the 3 inches wide, and then you make it however long you want. And I've made mine, I think it's 54 inches long. And I like to use my real cheap fabric because we're going to be folding it up, and it's going to be 3 times as thick as it is right now. 4 times as thick. So you can use the really cheap fabric if you want to. And I'm not going to line it or anything. So make it however long you want, however thick you want. And these are basically all the little pieces. Other than cutting out all the pieces, I have ironed the strap. I've ironed the strap towards the center. I use my little chalk. And I ironed it towards the center and then ironed it in half. And so far that's all I've done. I have decided to show you a different tab that I have done before, and I really like it because it creates a buttonhole. And I'm not that great at buttonholes. So here I have a piece of fabric. It has to be at least double the length of the tab that you want. And then I just ironed it in half. And I'm going to use the same thread that I'm going to use for the bag. So I'm going to sew the top and along the side. So we'll do that L shape. Then I'm going to turn it right side out. Then I iron it flat. Okay, so I made it thinner because it was just way too fat, and I thought it would be harder to show. So you take it and then you bend it. Let's see, I just practiced it. So you bend it until you make like a nice point, and I just use the tip of my scissors to bring them together. And then Then once you have a nice point, and it's all horizontal and nice, you just sew straight across, connecting the front and the two side flaps. So there, I just sewed it directly on top of the stitch that came from both sides. Figure out how long you actually want them, and then you just have them overlap the littlest bit, and then sew so that you're just sewing them together as large as you need for your button. Okay, remember this button? So you just need it big enough to fit a button through. So then measure what you need, make a little mark, and then just sew straight up from that area. So there's the width of the button. And I just sewed right here as close as I could together without having them overlap too much. And then that's your tab. And you just put it wherever you need it to be to create that buttonhole. Here I have another one that's bigger, but it has a smaller buttonhole. So even if you're afraid to make a buttonhole, you can do it. So I'm going to make two other tabs. This one with the pointy bit, and then these that'll just be like rectangles. And then I'm going to decide which ones I want to use, or which one I want to use. Cutting off the corners. And I'm going to do the same with this gray one. In this one, it's going to be right sides together. And I'm going to go all the way around, leaving the top open so I can flip it right side out. And now we'll iron them flat. Now I'm going to connect the rest of the pieces. This will be down one side and part of the way through here, and then I'll start here and go up. So a little L with an opening so I can flip it. And then this one will just be both sides and not the top. Go down one side and up the other side for the strap. Everything I've got done now is the strap is sewn on both sides, and I've got the outer part of the bag, and that's right side out. Got the lining, and it appears to be inside out. And I did iron this a little bit so that when I do flip it, I can sew that easier. And I've got my three tabs, this one, and then the purple, and then the rectangle with the dots. I haven't decided which one I want yet, so I'm going to take a look. This might be a bit too big. And I even cut it down from the other one. And then I've got this one, which I have to look in here. I like it. I like different. And then there's this one, so it'll match. But this is the strap, so I'm thinking if I end up with this being gray, it might be like too much, or, you know, I kind of like it. The more I look at it, I kind of like it. You know, this is like no risk. I'm going to go for the risk. Okay, so what I do now is either side, it doesn't matter which is front and which is back at this point. And I'm going to pin this downward, and I'm going to try to center it up. Okay. Now I'm going to pin it, or pinch it, and then I'm going to actually pin it down lower, because as I'm sewing it, it can twist this way, and I don't want that to happen, because I did that to one of my bags, and oh my, it was terrible. And I'll be able to get this pin out of here, because this is the outside, so this all will be showing. Then I'm going to put the straps on, also on the outside, and just center them with the seam. I'm going to clip that on, and then I'm also going to pin it straight down the seam. If it starts to decide to go one way or the other, this will kind of keep it straight. And then I just go down the strap, making sure it stays flat and doesn't twist. And I'll clip it again. Okay, so I've got 3 clamps and 3 pins. And now I take this, my lining, which is, I guess you could say inside out, and I feed the strap through there. If you don't, it ends up so wadded up in the bag, you know, inside this area, that it's hard to deal with. And then once you have it together, you just take out each clamp and clamp this to it. And hold on to everything for dear life when you're changing those clamps. Then I'll just sew around the edge. And this is the hard part because it's so tiny that it's hard to get it to go around here, but I will make it work. The nice thing about having these straps here is turning it right side out is a lot easier. Just be careful of the pins. I'm going to sew the bottom of the lining up. Alright, here we go. Now we just stuff the lining inside the little bag. And you know what helps is sticking your phone in there. So now I'm going to iron the edge and top stitch it. Okay, well, I'm sad. I wanted to put a snap in here, and I can't find where I put my snaps. Y'all saw me put a snap in for that wallet, and I thought, ooh, that'd be perfect. I can put a little snap here. I was going to do Velcro, and then I thought, snaps are cooler. So I want to do a snap, but I can't find them. And I was at Lowe's maybe a week or 2 ago getting something, and I happened to notice they have these, I think they're QR codes or scan codes. I can't remember exactly what they look like, but they're little stickers, and you stick them on your tub full of stuff or your shelf or your drawer or whatever, and then you scan it with your phone and you type in everything that's in there, so then when you go back to that tub or the drawer or whatever, you can scan it and it tells you everything that's in there. And now I'm thinking that's exactly what I need in my life, because where are my snaps? Did you guys see me put them away? Other than the snap, it's done. Let's put my phone in there. See, so if it had a little Velcro, which I don't want to do, or a snap, wouldn't that be great? And you just make it to whatever size your phone is. Just measure it and add a little extra bit. And I have made them where I put a little pocket on the front, and that's nice. You can put your credit card or your driver's license or whatever you want to put in there, and that's kind of nice too. And you can make it, you know, wider or whatever. It's like a basic little purse, but the size for your phone. So pretend this is snapped shut, and voila! Phone bag. Phone pocket. Oh, this can be called a hanging phone pocket. I have hooked my keys to it, but then you have to be careful how much you put in there, because I just have a 1/4 inch seam all the way around. So I hope you guys make a bunch, colorful or plain, for whatever size phone you have. I gotta go find my snaps. Happy Sunday. I found the snaps, yay. Now I gotta remember how to use them. Ta-da!